What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Aroid district. I'm Dave. What's poppin', everybody? What's been going on? Like, hopefully everybody's been doing well, staying safe, all of that. As for me, I'm on a 2-week vacation and I'm excited because if you don't know, I live here in Los Angeles. Super Bowl weekend is coming up. Yes. And I'm about to be wilding out. I'm going to a Super Bowl party downtown LA, and I'm gonna have a time of my life. Hopefully the Rams show out, and hopefully these West Coast artists for the halftime show out, because I'm an 80s baby, so a lot of what's gonna be going down, that's my whole childhood right there. But what are we talking about today? I want to give y'all a tour of my backyard. So if you don't know, I put a lot of my tropical plants, Aroids, and houseplants outdoors. I often do that. I did that at my old house, and a lot of them do well, but sometimes during the winter it's like a 50-50 chance that some of them ain't gonna make it. But I want to give y'all a tour. But let's talk about the weather that we have here in Los Angeles. So Southern California, we do have a winter that is not conducive to a lot of house plants. Like nighttime, it can drop down to 40 degrees. Daytime, it's only going to raise up to about 60. That's not too bad. So a lot of these houseplants can survive. But if you mix in a couple days of rain with that 40-degree drop at night, you about to murk your plants. Like it's a 50-50 chance, especially if they're not planted in the ground. So some of them are planted in like a big plantain bed, like a above ground plantain, and some that I have, I just stick the pot outside. And when you have it in a pot, I think, you know, after it's wet and the temperature drops down to like that 40-degree range, it can be too cold in that pot, and it'll just stay cold all night. And it's almost like, I mean, what most people's refrigerator in the kitchen is about 40 degrees. So you got to think about that pot sitting out there. It's almost like being in a refrigerator. It's a good chance it'll turn to mush. This video is just to kind of, you know, show people who live in Southern California, or maybe like anywhere, you know, anywhere in the world, like how I get down when I put my plants outside. I have an outdoor greenhouse. I'm going to give y'all a tour of that also, so stick around. So I finally got the Raven ZZ. I've been looking for this for a long time. Like, y'all don't understand. Like, they just don't have them out here in the big box stores. So I had to go online. I found somebody selling it locally, and finally got me one. I want a couple of these for, you know, decor in my house or whatever. I know a lot of y'all probably like, what they do? He got the Ravens. Nah, I've been looking for this joint, and I finally got it. So Raven ZZ here. So before we go out here, I gotta introduce y'all to my dog, Soul. He's about, what, 3 years old. Sit, shake, shake. Thank you. Okay, so this is the backyard here. You'll notice that it's a bit loud because there is a freeway up that ravine. But right here we have the outdoor greenhouse. I don't have any heaters or fans inside of there, but it works out pretty good. Then I have some above ground plantains. Right here is like a gazebo tent over like the little table. And down there is more backyard. So let's start with the greenhouse. So this greenhouse is not fully stocked yet. I'm gonna wait till it gets a little bit warmer to do all of that. But first we have a Syngonium chia pence that's been out here all winter. To the left of that is a Philodendron tripartitum. I just put that out there last week. Another Syngonium chia pence. And then we have a Syngonium that I propagated coming back to life. Right there is a Philodendron splendid that I put out here a couple days ago, and that's a Siltopecana back there. Right here we have Hoya Wyetii and Alocasia lauterbachkiana I just put there. This is a Philodendron red emerald, just put there last week. And back there, this is a pink princess that has been here all winter. It's been here since October of last year. It hasn't grown much, but it's not dead. And inside this greenhouse, it does get down to that 40-degree range. But it has new growth as of now, so hopefully it'll, do well in the spring. Pink Syngonium, and that is Monstera pennapartita that I just put there. So this is Syngonium mojito, believe it or not. It just turned lime green because it's been out here all winter, and I had it in that cold water in that Leca cup, but it's alive. So right here we have a Begonia luxurians. It was like 4 feet tall when I had it last year, and now it is coming back. I'm gonna pull that out later so we can take a better look at it. Next we have Syngonium mojito. That one's cool. Another Syngonium chia pence. And this is a Philodendron delinksii that I just put out here last week. And down there is like a ficus bonsai project. I'll give you updates on that later when it looks like something. Okay, up here we have some more Syngonium. This is a Syngonium 3 Kings. And to the right is Syngonium batik. Both of those. All right, so right here we have the Peperomia obtusifolia. I put that out here last week, and it's doing pretty well. Next, it's Philodendron compostopartum that stayed out here all winter. It's holding on for dear life, and a Melanochrysum. And then we have Philodendron burley marks. So this Begonia luxurians, it is so dope. Like I said, it was 4 feet tall when I got it last year. Start dropping leaves inside of my house. And now that I put it out in this greenhouse, when I moved to this new house, it's taken off. Like, as a matter of fact, I want this inside the house now because it looks so good. So I'm gonna leave this out because I want to put it inside the house. I want to be able to look at that. And then of course we got like the snake plant that I have out here. Okay, right beside this greenhouse we have a plant stand with star aloe. That's another star aloe. They've been out here all winter. They do well. I just purchased this Hoya compactica, I believe it's called. It's doing well out here. The next we have variegated string of hearts. I keep these in my bathroom when it's raining, but for the most part they do better outside. And you'll see an update, they turn pink afterwards. And that is Hoya australis lisa. And then that is a string of watermelons. There we go. And right here is a ripsalis. I don't know what kind of ripsalis, but I really like it. I really want it to flower. But I have that hanging on the tent above. Okay, next we have this above ground plantain. They came with the house when I bought the house last year. So I moved in September of 2021 and I planted all of this stuff in October. So we have a Schefflera to the right and then a hibiscus plant next to that, waiting for those to get tall. And then now we have my Monstera. This did well during the winter. It put out that new leaf that's on top, even while it was cold. Next we have a spider plant that I took out of my bathroom and I put here. And then down here we have Alocasia Sarion that's coming back to life after it died during the winter or died down. Another Schefflera, and then a Croton right here. And look at this. This is a Philodendron Red Emerald. So if you keep these out in the cold, it'll start to look ugly, but it will actually survive. During the winter, it put out that little baby leaf, juvenile leaf, but it's alive through everything that it's been through sitting in the pot. But we'll see if it'll get huge come summertime. I can't wait to show some updates. All right, next to that Croton, we have like a golden pothos coming out of the planter. Then down here, we have a pot of syngoniums, like a strawberry illusion syngoniums. These been outdoors for about a year and a half from my old house to this new house. And they just do well in the winter, summer, it doesn't matter. And then there is another golden pothos coming out of that same pot. And my plan is to just let the syngonium or pothos just climb up this wall, sprawl across the wall. It shouldn't be too hard to cut those back if they start to go over the wall. So hanging on this tent right here, we have a sedum donkey tail. I think that's what it's called. I really like these, especially like when they're like hanging over a tall pot. And then on the other side, we have variegated string of pearls. I try to leave this plant alone. I just sprinkle it with some water every once in a while and just leave that one alone. Okay, for the second above ground planter, we have some bromeliads. So I bought these. I use these in terrariums, but I'm going to keep these outdoors. I'm going to cut them and separate them. And what I'm going to do is I have a branch right over here that I collected from the street. I'm going to wrap some moss around there and attach the bromeliads to that. So it'll just be leaning up against that wall with the bromeliads attached. So next we have Alocasia mycorrhiza. So that's going to get huge and provide shade to all the plants below it. But that's coming back. I don't know what that is. This purple plant right here is a, what is that called? Cordyline fructosa, I believe. And then right here we have Dracaena dragon tree. This one does well through anything. It's going to get pretty tall. So I'll place that inside the planter later on. Right now it's in that red pot. So check this out. This is a philodendron black cardinal. This survived the winter out here. Black cardinals are finicky sometimes outdoors, but hey, it survived. I'll prune those lower leaves off and then maybe it'll spring back to looking good. So that's philodendron black cardinal. So next to that we have an orchid tree. I'm going to insert a photo of this tree mature. And this tree should get pretty huge. It should go kind of close to those power lines all the way up there. And provide some shade to all of these plants. So I'm showing you the sun. Yeah, so right here we have one of my favorite common house plants. This is a black pagoda lipstick plant. At my other property, I have like a huge one. So this one should do well here. And look, below that, we have a couple Hoyas. This Hoya Australis Lisa to the left. And then Hoya SP Vietnam to the right. So I'm hoping both of them start to wrap around this trellis and climb up so they can meet up with this black pagoda above it. Right here we have some canna lily plants. And then some Wellfin Sansevieria I put out here last week. Oh, and look, we have Syngonium batik that I planted in the ground probably like a month ago. Hopefully, maybe it'll climb this hibiscus tree. Can't wait for those to get tall. So I'm showing you this tent right here because I'm going to move this tent over to that grass area that you see beyond. That's not going to be grass come summer. But once these trees get huge, it'll provide enough shade to where I can move that tent. Right here we have Philodendron Congo Rojo. They do well outdoors in the cold, in the heat, anything. Then look at this. This is my rubber tree, ficus rubber tree. This really looks good out here. And it's going to get huge. It's going to really be a tree. Then next to that we have another cordyline. I think it's cordyline fructosa. Then we have Ficus triangularis. I bought this as a really small plant, so it's starting to bounce back after it's been out here all. Another hibiscus tree. So look down here. It's a philodendron pink princess. This has been out here since I first moved. Like in October, I planted it in here, and it's actually survived the winter. And it put off that new leaf maybe a couple weeks ago. So I can actually say Pink Princess will survive 40-degree weather, and it even grew a new leaf in that 40-degree weather. Above that, we have a philodendron green emerald. That one took a beating, but it's coming back. The next we have this, the Mataphyllum Salum, and another hibiscus behind it. So this tree, I don't know what this tree is called, but it has these red flowers. And that one should get pretty tall, and it'll have like red leaves all over it. All right, we have another Philodendron Congo Rojo out here. It's a ficus tucked away. I probably didn't get a good shot of it. Then we have a huge bird of paradise, the giant bird of paradise, some type of bush, and then you have the regular orange bird of paradise. And then right here is a Schefflera. So I really want this one to be a tree. Like it's growing pretty good. So the whole plan is to, let all of these plants that are supposed to be trees that get tall, I want them to, go above this fence so that I can go ahead and move that tent. So right here we have a Colocasia mojito coming back to life, and then another Colocasia esculenta, I believe. And then these are two more Alocasia mycorrhizas, the giant elephant ears. So out here on this grass area, all of this grass is going to be gone in a couple of weeks. I got a landscaping crew that's going to come out here, remove the grass, and this whole grass area is going to be like a big jungle with like some nice little pathways and whatnot. So I have these trees acclimating over here because it's going to be a part of the little jungle effect that I'll have built. So right down here we have some cactus, apontias. I made those little pots right there myself. And then right here we have the Queensland bottle tree. It's a cool tree. The trunk of it like starts to get really thick, like the shape of a bottle. All right, so next we have my dwarf lemon tree. Definitely gave me lots of lemons. Then that's a fox palm right there. That was a rescue. I got it maybe for $12 at Lowe's. It was like a little rescue. It was coming back. This is a ghost cactus that is not looking good. I think the soil is too compact. All right, now we have like a tangerine tree. It's a dwarf version. And then back there we have a king palm. So hanging on this tent, I just put these out here last week. This is the Hoya Crimson Princess and the Hoya Crimson Queen. Then right here we have a Hoya Public Calyx. This thing was this thing got burnt when I first moved here. I left it out in the sun and then it's been in the cold. Like, I don't know if it's cold damaged or I don't know. It just don't look right. But it's here. Hoya Public Calyx. All right, so we have another Thematophyllum Saloon. That's gonna go in the jungle area on the where the grass is now. That's a fern, and then look, I put this Anthurium ruffles out here, Fruffles, I think, and it got a little burnt. This is a Philodendron Birkin that's been out here for a week, and it's doing just fine. Then we have Philodendron Prince of Orange. Then we have what is this? Philodendron Pluto Red, and then Begonia Wyetii back there. It does well outside. I actually purchased that from like an outdoor area in a nursery. And we have a banana tree. And look, one of the fiddle leaf figs that I had indoors, I placed out here because I want that to grow into a tall tree. We have another Rojo Congo. And look right here, this is a heliconia. I'm going to insert a picture of one so you can see like the flowers go crazy. Then I have another one over here. So this is actually related to the bird of paradise plant. And yeah, those things are cool. Right here we have a little Alocasia New Guinea Gold. And then I have a Monstera out here. So that's pretty much it. Everything should be easy to maintain. I'll grab a hose and water everything down. And I'll use the misting nozzle to, mist down the greenhouse every day and then close the door. So that's it, everybody. I'll give you updates later.